Moving on, IndusInd Bank has identified accounting discrepancies of 2.35% of the bank's net worth as of December 2024 in its derivatives portfolio during an internal review, and that the lender has appointed an external agency to independently review and validate its internal findings. My colleague Vishwanath now joining us on the phone line to tell us more about this. Vishwanath, for our viewers, could you just put this in context? What exactly does this mean? What does the discrepancies also mean for the bank?
Right, Sasha. So the RBI had changed the rules as far as a bank's investment portfolios are concerned and how a bank is to audit this investment portfolio on an ongoing basis. So the new rules had become applicable in April of 2024, so for this financial year essentially. Now, over the last 2 odd months, IndusInd Bank, as part of its internal review, had found that certain aspects of its derivatives portfolio was not meeting the standard that was set by the Reserve Bank of India, and therefore those transactions needed to be highlighted and taken on as a one-time hit on the bank's balance sheet for the year. And that's what the bank has done. Essentially, what the IndusInd Bank has clarified to the exchanges and then again over a call with the analysts is that 2.35% of its net worth, that works out to roughly about 2,100 odd crore. That kind of a one-time impact is going to hit the bank during this financial year, and of course this financial year we're already in the final quarter of the year. And just to verify this number, of course they've also announced an external audit, an external investigation into the matter to try and find out how exactly they have missed it so far. Because remember, as I said, these rules came into effect in April 2024, and the bank is finding out only over the last 2 odd months. So the bank has the duty to find out why exactly it has been missed for so many months, and whether the impact is limited to 2,100 crore or if there's more of an impact. This is all coming at a time when IndusInd Bank CEO Sumant Katpalia has only received a 1-year extension by the Reserve Bank of India, and that is when the board had sought a 3-year extension for him. So when the analysts asked him whether there is any connection to it, Mrs. Katpalia told the analysts that there is likely some connection, though he is not entirely sure, but this most likely did play a part in the regulator's decision to not give him the 3 years that the board had sought for. Now what he's saying is that the board of the bank is responsible to find out whether they need to appoint a fresh CEO after the 1-year tenure gets over next year, and that the board will decide on its own time.
Absolutely, Vishwanath. Thank you so much for putting that in perspective. The bank's still waiting for the final report from the external agency, and once received, it will consider any necessary adjustments. And like you rightly said, the CEO of IndusInd Bank, Sumant Katpalia, has said that the discrepancies would have a bearing on the decision of extending the tenure of the CEO, adding that the Reserve Bank is not comfortable with the leadership. He is committed to the bank for the additional 1 year of his tenure, and also said that the board needs to consider other candidates for the CEO role. So let's listen into what he actually had to say on the analyst con call earlier.
For the regulator to answer, and I think of course this would have had a bearing because they were aware of this issue. We actually there was some inkling towards the issue, and I think I don't know what is the rationale for them to give me 1 year, but I think they're uncomfortable with the way my leadership skills of running the bank is, and we have to respect that. And I think this is a litmus test that for the bank, as well as from a succession point, that we see how to take the bank forward. I don't think the BAU of the bank will suffer. I don't think our growth agenda will get off the track, and I think I remain committed for 1 year to the bank. And I think let's see how the process goes. The board will evaluate external as well as internal candidates for the CEO position. I don't know whether they evaluate me or they evaluate somebody else. That's for them to decide.